Hey y'all, thanks for joining me on my channel. It is Kandi and I wanted to do an almost 30-day BBBE update. So today is Saturday, February 8th, and I started my BBBE journey on Saturday, January 11th. So February 11th is going to be on a Tuesday. I do not think I'm going to have time on Tuesday to film an exact 30-day BBBE update. So I decided that I am going to do it today. I actually have jury duty this week coming up, so just in case they call me and I am chosen to be on that jury, I am going to do my update today. So today is going to be a 27-day BBBE update. So for a quick recap of my carnivore journey, I had dabbled with that off and on last couple of years. So I buckled down and decided to really give it a go in January of 2024. I did have a couple of times where I cheated during the 2024 year, but I got right back on it. I did not give up sweeteners for good until last year, until probably the middle of last year. That was a big game changer for me. I did not kill the sweet tooth until giving up sweeteners. It was a big struggle for me giving up those sweeteners. It always reactivated my sweet tooth. So if anybody out there is struggling with sweet cravings, that is my big suggestion to you guys, is to definitely look and see if you guys are having sweeteners in your diet, because that will definitely help with the sweet cravings. I did not want it to be true for me, and it was. So I'm not saying I'm not going to have sweeteners in the future, but for the time being, I have given up the sweeteners and it has immensely helped. So in January of 2024, I was weighing in at 209 point something. So I had started the carnivore journey. In September of last year, I had gotten down to 174.9. And I had did a lot of fasting, like extended 3-day fasting before that. Immediately I had started again gaining weight. In January 1st, 2025, I weighed in at 181.2. So I decided something had to be done. I was going to do something I had not done before, and that was BBBE. So on January 11th of 2025, I started my beef, butter, bacon, and egg 30-day challenge. So the first couple weeks, I immediately started losing. I started January 11th at 179.8. It was very strange. I was going to the bathroom every day and having bouts of diarrhea at night. And that was not normal for me, coming from carnivore, going directly to BBBE. I don't know what made the difference. I didn't think that I had upped my fats significantly. I don't know if it was just the change in giving up the little bit of dairy that I was eating. So I had dropped 3 pounds pretty fast, and then I gained again. So I gained back up to 178 point something, but I still had lost a pound, and I was pretty much holding there. I had some stress going on with my life. Work was kind of stressful at the moment because my boss was gone on vacation for a couple weeks, so I had a lot of kind of stressful moments at work going on, and then I had some stress going on with my plumbing at home, where I had plumbing issues, and that was stressing me out. So I don't know if I gained because of the stress going on at home with my plumbing issues, but since the plumbing issues were handled, and since my boss came back, and things have kind of calmed down and went back to my normal life, things have gotten better. Now, I haven't had the loose stools like I had in the beginning. That normalized and worked itself out after about a week. So today is February 8th, and I weighed in at 173.2. So I have lost 6.6 pounds in this 27 days of doing BBBE. So that is super exciting. I am the lowest I have been in this carnivore journey since January of 2025. I have done some sort of fasting, not any kind of extended fasting like longer than 20 hours. I haven't done any kind of 3-day fasting like I did in August of last year and the beginning of September of last year. So only some type of intermittent fasting, I would call it, maybe skipping supper, skipping breakfast, those type of things. So BBBE all of a sudden has started really kicking in for me, it seems like. I thought that I was going to stop after the 30-day mark, especially since the first half of BBBE didn't really seem to have a big significant change for me. But now that it seems to be kicking into high gear, I may be extending it. So now I kind of see what Dr. Berry says about, most people say, oh, I'll give it 30 days and then they kind of stick around. So I think that might happen to me. I think I might be extending it. I thought that I was going to miss cheese and cream and the other things more than I do, but it's really strange. I find that the longer that I do this, the more I don't care about food. And I know that sounds really, maybe not to you, but to me, it sounds really strange. It sounds very, very strange to me because I have always been a person that has been obsessed with food. Like my whole life, I come from a place where I love to eat. And in my mind, I still do love to eat. I still do love sugar. I know that sugar tastes delicious. I know that I love carbs. I know I love Cheetos. I know I love pie and I love cake. And I can see it and I can appreciate it. But when I hold that cake out to my coworker and sing happy birthday, I can look at it and I can say, dang, this cake looks delicious. I'd love a piece, but then I'm not craving it and I don't want it. And it's just so weird because before I'd be eating a slice of that cake and then thinking about how I can go get another slice of that cake without everybody looking at me. So it's very, very weird to me. The longer I do it and the longer I'm on carnivore and the more strict I am, the more of the BS I cut out, the more of the sweeteners I've reduced and the more of the cream I've cut out and the cheese I've cut out and I guess more of the processed crap, even though it's carnivore, like the sour cream and the cream cheese and the things like that that are considered carnivore. The more of those things that I've given up, the more I just don't care about food. My husband will mention about going out to eat, and I just told him the other day, I think I'm boring now because I just don't even care about it. I don't even want to go out to eat. I'm sorry. I'd rather eat my food at home. And I know that makes me sound boring now, but I'd rather just eat what I know what's in the food that I prepare. And I think my food tastes better. So if that makes me boring and, if that makes me boring, I'm sorry, but I'd rather just eat my food. I just don't have any desire to go out to eat. One big thing, too, that I have given up since going BBBE is, it's been a long time since we have actually gone out to eat somewhere except for fast food hamburgers. We did go to In-N-Out quite frequently before I started BBBE, and I would get Flying Dutchman. And that did include the cheese. And that cheese is American cheese, and I know it's processed. And I would just tell myself, it's okay, cheese is carnivore. Well, that probably had a big impact on me not losing weight as well. So one time since starting BBBE, we did go to In-N-Out because it was an extremely long day for me. I got up at 4 o'clock and I did not start my journey home until 8:30 at night. I was on the go all day and I did not have time to cook supper. By the time I got home, I was exhausted, was not going to cook. So I stopped on my way home and I picked up In-N-Out for me, but all I got was the patties without the cheese. And I am here to tell you that the patties sucked. I did not like them, so I have found out that I just like the cheese. I do not like the patties. So I just don't think I'm going to go to In-N-Out and get the patties anymore because what's the point? I just like the cheese. I've discovered that. So I think giving up those In-N-Out burgers really helped me with my weight loss as well. And it's little things like that that you don't realize that are going to help until you do it, and you don't do it just for 1 week and you don't do it for just 2 weeks. You have to do it significantly for a long enough period of time to have your body catch up with itself. So if you guys have not tried BBBE, I suggest to do it. And let me tell you, if I stall on BBBE, what's the next step for me? The lion diet, because there's still eggs that cause people issues, and I'm still eating eggs, and there's still the bacon that I'm eating that I know has a little bit of sugar and nitrates and things like that in it, so maybe that's going to cause me issues, and I'm not realizing it, but as of right now, it's not causing me issues because I'm losing, and I'm still eating that. So those are the two things that are not on the lion diet. Oh, and butter. So those are the three things on, and pork belly, because I consider that bacon. So those are the four things that I'm eating right now that are not on the lion diet. But if I hit a stall and I want to mix it up a bit, the lion diet's going to be in my future. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys are on a carnivore journey and you're stuck and you feel like you've done everything but you have not given up, things like I've talked about, diet sodas, sweeteners, processed cheese, any kind of cheese, things like that. Haven't tried BBBE, maybe try it, and don't just try it for a week. Give it a good go. The longer you do it, you may find out that you're like me, and it gets easier and easier. And there's so many nights that I come home and I'm like, you know, I don't even want supper. For me, I have found out that I would much rather eat breakfast and lunch and skip supper. It's so much easier for me because I am so busy during the day that by the time I get home and it's 6:30 at night, I'm tired anyways. I'd much rather just do what I have to do and go to bed because I'm tired anyways, and I'm not really that hungry. I'd rather just go to bed. I hate going to bed on a full stomach because if I lay down with a full tummy, it doesn't sit well with me. So I would much rather fast throughout the night. I'm sleeping anyways. I'm not going to be hungry when I'm asleep. So I would much rather go without supper and eat breakfast and lunch. So that's what I've done. That's just how it works for me. So, you know, you got to play with your food, play with your food times, and discover what works for you. And I know sometimes we hate hearing that from people, and it's not the easiest. It's just so much easier to have somebody tell us what to do and then just to do it and have it work. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it works sometimes, because everybody's different, you know, so you got to figure out what works for yourself. So just a quick recap from January 1st, 2025, I am down 8 pounds. And from January 11th, the beginning of my BBBE journey, I am down 6.6 pounds, which I am stoked. So everybody that gave me encouraging words, encouraging advice that, hey, you are probably stressed, just stick with it. And for the people that gave me the advice that, hey, you just got to stick with it, and sometimes towards the later part of your journey, it starts falling off, I appreciate it. It really did encourage me. And if anybody else has any other kind of advice, please throw it in the comments below, because there's somebody out there that is going through a struggle that may read those words of advice and it's going to help them, and it may help me. So we always appreciate encouraging words in this community, and we got to stick together. Throw your advice down below. It's going to help somebody somewhere. Thank you for sticking around for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button and sharing the video to somebody who may find it helpful. And thanks for joining me today. Until next time, stop eating processed foods.